Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Imperial Scholars Podcast. My name is Mitch. My co-host is the Rad Dude, and today we have a very special guest, Space Knight 105. I just rolled out of bed, and I apologize for that lackluster intro for you, sir, but I'm very happy to have you on with us. Please do feel free to introduce yourself to all the lovely people.
Hey guys, my name is Space105, and you probably know me as the Blue Knight you see on YouTube, posting not just Warhammer, like Warhammer meme trailers or speculation videos with the Raw Dude or some gameplay moments. But you may also know me for making content about anime, Roblox, a bit of Minecraft. Besides me being a crazy enthusiast who likes a lot of things. I also love the Warhammer universe as well. Like I got into Warhammer because of the video games. Like I got into Warhammer 40k because of Dawn of War. I got into Warhammer Fantasy because of Total War Warhammer 1. And yeah, here I am.
Grandiose. I'm glad to have you here with us, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Scholar Mitch, for inviting me to this lore video. So what are we going to talk about today?
Well, today I'm not actually doing the coverage once again. This one goes over to you again, Rad. Please do educate us, and I will cut in very early to let you know something about our subject.
Sure thing. So thank you again for the honor of allowing me to take the helm of today's talk here, little discussion. And today we're going to be talking about a particular character of Chaos. Last time we did the Chaos Dwarfs. Now we're going to one of their named champions, specifically WULFRIK the Wanderer.
I'm excited. I know this man is basically testosterone made manifest.
I mean, yeah, this guy is a hunk of dude, a champion of chaos himself. But he actually does have a really interesting lore, and not the basic chaos boy of me get strong, me smash stuff, me chaos champion good. Sort of thing like that.
No, from what I understand, he's actually somewhat dynamic, which is actually kind of rare, but the writers at good old GW find a way to make even the biggest brute an actual compelling character, so good on them for that.
Right. And just to let you guys know, disclaimer, I am not a lore expert when it comes to Warhammer Fantasy, but I have been reading and checking into Warhammer Fantasy for quite a while by now. And I pulled whatever knowledge I could from lore videos, the wiki, and other stuff. There is an actual WULFRIK the Wanderer book, but unfortunately I didn't have time to read it. So if I get anything wrong, you can flame me in the comments, and yeah. So, shall we begin, lads?
Well, one quick thing I'm going to point out to you, actually, is that I kind of have trolled myself, you, and everyone, because I actually bought the book 2 days ago, but I've not read through the whole thing.
Excellent. Now, when we're done here, he'll check my work and then grade me, saying, oh, you did an okay job, or you are a failure.
Yeah, I'm your substitute teacher.
Okay, I'm going to turn in my essay, and then you just judge me and you give me a grade, maybe in a follow-up post of some kind.
Yeah, I'm here to literally, for in the next week, just go, actually.
All right, then. Cool. So, our story begins in the tundras of Norska, where WULFRIK was born of the Sarl tribe, and already had characteristics of a chaos champion, possessing great strength, speed, and a nose that of a hound, but his most obvious was his teeth in his mouth, similar to that of a wolf more than a man. Hence his name, WULFRIK.
Mm-hmm.
Now, WULFRIK was famous throughout Norska and was already a mighty champion, taking on challenges, in which he displayed the heads and skulls of his previous, challengers or whatever beasts, throughout his armor or just on his gear, really. Now, the story of WULFRIK begins around 2519 IC, so in the modern era of current Warhammer Fantasy. And now there was conflict that arose between his tribe, the Sarls, and a neighboring tribe called the Aeslings. Now, the Aeslings were under King Torgold, a follower of Khorne. The issue is that the Sarls were outnumbered by this big force of the Aeslings. However, the Sarls have a king named Viglundir. Again, bear with me on these names here, it's Norscan stuff. Now, Viglundir is a chosen of Tzeentch, and he knew how to even the odds through schemes, deceptions, and diplomacy. Thing was that Viglundir, while being kind of an old king, so not exactly tip-top shape or whatever, he possessed a bunch of great wealth from previous successful raids. So he hired several legions of mercenaries, including a bunch of ogre mercenaries as well, as a way to even the odds and even the numbers of the upcoming battle.
Why did they? Okay, sorry. Just why do they need to up to do that to even the odds? Was it just like numbers game or?
Numbers wise, yeah, the Acelings like far outnumber the Sarls. So that's why like the Gundyr then took this hoard of treasure that he had stockpiled in order to like say, okay, I gotta hire a bunch of dudes just to help out.
Okay,
Makes
that's what's
perfect
going on
sense.
here.
Yeah. However, the Gundyr did need Wulfric because Wulfric was the mightiest of the Sarls. And he tried to convince Wulfric to join. Now, just letting you know, like Wulfric did not really respect Gundyr that much because he's like, well, you're just a decrepit old man who doesn't like really fight anymore. You shouldn't really lead and all that. Like he kind of knows that, but Wulfric is such a strong badass that Gundyr never really did anything to him. Just kind of at odds. However, Gundyr was able to convince Wulfric to join in as like his champion, like being at the forefront, by offering him not only great wealth, but the hand of his daughter, Hjordis, in marriage, if Wulfric was actually successful. And Wulfric agreed to this because one, Hjordis was mega hot, and two, if he married Hjordis and Viglundir died, then Wulfric will become the chieftain of the Sarls.
Pretty standard stuff for a Norskin or just a Warhammer character in general.
Thus began, like when the two armies converged in the battle, called the Battle of 1,000 Skulls, where the Sarls clashed with the Acelings. Now, Wulfric fought with so much ferocity that he was able to cleave through tons of Sarls there alongside the mercenaries that were hired for this. And he made his way to King Torgal, and they fought in a duel. And it lasted for quite a while, but eventually Wulfric got the upper hand of him and decapitated the Aisling king, causing the entire army to retreat.
Damn, okay.
Afterwards, with that victory there, they celebrated, how so? With a humongous great feast in Wulfric's honor, with plenty of food and drink.
As again, everyone does in Warhammer.
I mean, why not? Especially after like so much massacre and mayhem. Like again, I made it a bit like I kind of glossed over it, but it was a huge battle with plenty of losses on both sides. It wasn't like a one done deal, whatever. It was just that because Wulfric was able to cut off the head of the snake, that's how he was able to win.
Yeah, I didn't mean to undermine like how it was. It was more just a situation like of like severeness. It's just like, oh, okay, cool. But it was called Battle of 1,000 Skulls, so that gives me an idea.
Right. Hey, Space Knight, you got a question?
Well, it's more like a funny question. Like, he imagines just some warrior join Wulfric's feast, and some guy says, "Oh, you're here for the victory of Wulfric." And he says, "Nah, I'm just here for the food."
He would be. I bet he would be beaten to a pulp for being so like having the audacity to say that.
He'd get the shit kicked out of him, and then he'd get to eat.
Like again, this is like kind of pseudo medieval times still. So imagine going to the hall of some great like noble, some kind of like, yes, we're celebrating the victory. And it's like, oh, why are you here? It's like, oh, I'm just here for the food, mate. I don't care about you.
And from that day forth, he was called Dirker Herkeborg the Gluttonous.
No, afterwards he was called the Toothless.
Oh, that's
what
fair.
happened.
Oh, right.
I for the Toothless.
I mean, imagine you guys are having a party and then some random guy comes up and is like, oh, are you a friend of someone? It's like, no. Oh, are you here to like celebrate, like, I don't know, me getting married, let's say. I don't know, it's just something, let's just say something. It's like, no, I'm just here for the free food. How would you guys feel about that?
Like, who's this random dude?
Probably a halfling.
I mean, it was like, unless you bring me a bunch of money or some sort of gifts, it's like, get the fuck out.
I would just be that awkward dude, just kind of like side eyeing the whole time until that guy leaves.
Oh, so you allow him to like participate, I guess?
I would be like a Zechian sorcerer being like, I'm trying to find ways to get him to fuck off.
Anyway, back to the story. So during this feast, like that's where like just everyone went wild with eating and drinking, and Wulfric boasted how like no one will be able to outdrink him. And Wulfric, using King Torgald's skull as a drinking cup, drank over 8 whole barrels of mead, which even impressed the ogre mercenaries of all people, while boasting of his deeds. It was like, yeah, it took around 8 barrels to get him under the table. But during that time, he was like, boasting about like, oh yeah, I'm the greatest warrior of the land. I can beat and arm wrestle anyone here. However, there was one particular boast that then brought doom upon his head, where he claimed that he was the equal of any warrior of the realms of the mortal world or in the realms beyond flesh. Then he passed out.
Oh, yeah, given that these guys worship chaos, that's not a good sign.
So it was during like this time of him just being blacked out, like just knocked out from drinking so much. He then had a dream where in his dream an emissary of the dark gods actually approached him. And during this, like this emissary showed Wulfric so many locations of the world, halls of the dwarves, the gleaming tower of the elves, and eventually all being drowned in blood and fire. Now, the demonic emissary spoke of how Wulfrik's brazen words had offended the gods, but also intrigued them enough to actually give a challenge to their champion to prove his proud words. Kind of like, all right, let's see if you can put your money where your mouth is. Now, he was charged to travel all corners of the world and seek out the fiercest challengers, the most monstrous creatures, or the most ferocious adversaries, and slay them in single combat to prove his might. And for each of them, because each challenge is based on which particular god, he must offer, some sort of offering to them. An example being oh yeah, the heart will be for Slanesh, the last scream would be for Zinch, some blood would be for Korn, or the organs would be for Nurgle, etc., etc., depends. Now, if he failed, the emissary explained, then his soul will be forever cursed by the gods and deemed unworthy to join him in their halls, like the equivalent of a Chaos of Valhalla. And he spoke with relish of how demons would take pleasure in torturing Wulfrik's soul for all of eternity should it come to pass.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. That you know who that reminds me of? Arbal the Undefeated.
Although with Arbal, I think if I recall, he just gets turned into a chaos spawn, if he runs away. I'm not sure if his soul will be damned, but it could be possible. But yeah.
Yeah, that it just reminds me of him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right.
So do these? Sorry, real quick. With the offering thing, does he have to offer one of each, or is it just a thing of hey, be sure to offer at least something to the Chaos Gods with these battles you're going to go and do?
It's actually each challenge is from one particular Chaos God. So it could be Nurgle says, you go here and offer me this guy's intestines. And then the next one would be okay, now it's Zinch's turn. You go here and offer me the last breath of this guy here. Sort of like that there.
Okay.
So it's almost like contracts are just jobs from 4 different bosses. You got to do one at a time.
Oh.
Can you imagine that's like an updated mechanic for Wulfrik, similar to the Ogre contract?
Yeah, except actually fun, hopefully. So going back, so then Wulfrik awoke, and again, he woke up from being blackout drunk, so he's kind of in a stupor, kind of very what's the word of saying it? Almost in a painful mood of some kind. However, when he woke up, he found himself speaking in 1,000 languages, and his tongue kind of twisted and shaped into that of a bird's. And there are also tons of voices in his head speaking all at once. And he was like, oh, what the hell is going on with me? Well, what's this here? Luckily, there was a shaman of the tribe who checked him out and realized oh, I know this thing. It's called the Gift of Tongues. It's a gift from the Chaos Gods. And Wulfrik was well, can you stop this here? Because it's really weird. My tongue is going all over the place. I'm speaking 1,000 languages, and there's these painful, blistering voices in my head. It's it's driving me nuts. And the shaman was I don't know what to do about this here. And it's kind of odd. And then Wulfrik, being the reasonable man, decided to torture the guy to find some way to see if he could do something about it.
I did not see that one coming.
Yeah. So eventually Wulfrik was okay, let me see about this. So he honed and focused in to listen to the voices. And one of those voices told him to go to Nehekara in order to fight a particular tomb lord and offer the decayed intestines to Nurgle. Now, if you can remember, Wulfrik is all the way above Norska, and he's how the hell am I going to get down there? It's miles away, and only the bravest of marauders go down there.
That was going to be my next question, yeah. So, okay, this guy has to go pretty much from the northern pole to the furthest southern lands.
So after that there, he was gone he's probably in the hall trying to recover from being hungover, and he was talking to his mates, his crew about this, and he's oh, something's going on with me. I have to go all the way on this freaking quest here. Then his best friend, his best friend named Sigvatar, heard of Wulfrik's plight, and he was hey Wulfrik, I've heard rumors of this magical longship that could help you, but again, it could be a rumor, but unfortunately from what I heard, it's under the hold of a particular witch up here in the north called Baba Yar, who unfortunately also controls a bunch of demons in a big-ass fortress.
Baba Yar?
Yeah, Baba Yar.
Subtle, again, GW, real subtle.
Oh yeah, remember, GW is as subtle as a Warhammer. But
yeah.
So Wulfric heard of this and I was like, well, I mean, it's better than nothing, so let's see if we can find out if this longship is actually real. So he amassed like an entire warband by spending like all the gold he amassed from the Battle of the Thousand Skulls, from like the reward from King Vaglundir, as well as like any that he got from the Aeslings himself. And it amassed like a huge army of Norscan warriors and marauders and marched to Baba Yar's tower. Thankfully, it does exist, and the battle was fierce with Wulfric and his forces like going over battling a bunch of demons, getting a bunch of losses, but thankfully, through sheer numbers and sheer might, they were able to triumph over the demons. Wulfric then stormed the keep and charged at Baba Yar, and thankfully, like Wulfric probably being like pretty swift, was able to kill Baba Yar by slicing off all of her limbs and throwing her into her own cauldron to be boiled alive.
Okay.
Brutality. Fatality.
That's pretty fucking metal, bro. That's pretty metal.
Oh, yeah. Dude, this is a Chaos Champion. You're gonna get metal all around.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Also, real quick, because you said that this dude would become promoted and get married if he won this battle of the Thousand Skulls prior. So did this occur, or?
We'll get back to that in a second, so hold that thought.
Okay.
So there in the keep, like after killing Baba Yar, was the prize. The legendary longship called Sea Fang.
This is where he gets it.
Yeah, glorious longship, pretty big, like for Norscan terms, and has a particular like dragon figurehead in the front. Like you guys have seen some Viking longships, how they have like wolves or other beasts being like that figurehead in the front of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, specifically, this is a dragon figurehead. Keep that in mind. Now, it turns out that this legendary ship is no ordinary ship. It's a legendary ship that can actually teleport across the world by going through the realm of chaos itself, therefore saving a lot of time and energy by going place to place. It's pretty much like warp travel from 40K.
Yeah,
I was going to say that, like, what? You're telling me that Warhammer Fantasy discovered warp traveling before 40K?
Yeah, I guess so.
I do like we were all thinking the exact same thing, and it was like, who's gonna say it? It's like Raz is like, yeah, it's just warp travel.
However, possessing such a power does come at a cost, a sacrifice of blood that needs to be put into the dragon figurehead at the front of the ship. Now, Wulfric tried, and it seemed that the ship really accepted Wulfric's blood as a worthy offering in order to activate its power. Now, it's unclear like why that's the case. Maybe it's because he killed Baba Yar and then became like the new owner of the ship, or maybe because of his gifts or curses from Chaos itself. We don't know. However, Wulfric makes sure that whenever he gets like any new recruits, he tests their blood to make sure that only he was the one that the ship accepted, because no ship can have two captains.
Okay. So basically, it's like, oh, let me test out real quick if your blood works on my demon boat front, and if it does, I'm going to kill you because I'm assuming you're trying to take my gerb.
Well, yeah, I mean, what's to stop someone from being like in the middle of a battle, sneaking up and being like, well, bye, I'm going to leave you stranded here.
Fair enough. Okay, so when you say this thing needs his blood, does it need like just like a little like driplet then? Like just like, oh, there's a little sliver of blood for you.
Yeah, it's not like an enormous amount, sort of like cut of the hand sort of thing.
Oh, okay. So it's just this weird blood ritual of like, here's a few droplets. Because in my head, it's like, he's going to be feeding this boat to people, or people, like, he's going to be feeding this boat people, isn't he?
No, it only accepts his blood, remember?
Yes. No, that was where my brain first went, though, was just being like, oh, hungry blood boat. He's feeding the crew to this thing, isn't he? That was where my brain went.
I know. Maybe he tried, but I don't think anything worked except well, his own blood. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's good news. That's good news. He doesn't have to wipe out his whole crew just so that he can turn on the activate the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, it's Warhammer. Like, nothing about that would surprise me.
So, by realizing the new powers, he then used the power to travel himself and whatever was left of his crew to Nehekara, then challenged, fought, and slayed the Tomb Lord and offered his shriveled intestines to Nurgle. Thus finished the first challenge. But then after that, he got another one. And then when he was done with that, another one, and another, and another. And during this time, like, Wulfric went on many more adventures/challenges given to him by the Dark Gods. He faced, like, a giant in battle and scalped to actually make his cloak, being one thing. Then he traveled to Troll Country that killed multiple monsters, even taking on a wight of an ancient Norscan Jarl of legend. And again, like so many like here and there of like multiple variety. You can think of like whatever you want there. And with every adventure, Wulfrik's fame grew and grew, with many men of the North freely joining his warband in the hopes of gaining some more glory. Because every time he finished a challenge, he then like teleported back to the Sorrow Tribe to rest and recuperate for a bit before going on to the next job.
Oh, well,
And
yeah, that makes sense, being like we've been on a long ship for God knows how long.
Well, remember, you could still teleport, but it could still take a while to, like, hunt down and track, because while the bolt could teleport, like, where you want to go, it's not exact. So it may give you, like, maybe in the, say, a 10-mile radius of where the target is, for example. And the one reason why he was so successful in his challenges goes back to his gift of tongues, because he is able to speak in any language perfectly for that. And he also knows, like, in regards to, like, the different cultures and things of different people or creatures and whatever. And what he was able to do is that with his gift of tongue, he was able to speak perfectly in the language of whoever his challenger was and insult the crap out of them so much that they become enraged and like just go barreling straight at Wulfrik to then lead to their own death.
Speaks in native tongue. Your mama's so fat. Cues rage.
In fact, I have an example for you guys of when he faced a dwarven king named Thurbad Stonebeard. And mind you, he spoke this in perfect Khazalid, the language of the dwarves. Face me if you dare, stunted whelp, or do you lack even an elven maid's courage? I thought the sons of Grungi were great warriors, but perhaps you are no true dwarf. Indeed, maybe you are instead some breed of bearded goblin, though in truth I have seen a finer beard on a troll's backside.
Oh my god.
Oh,
okay.
you better believe that's a grudging. Oh, damn. What? Wow.
Having the dude speak Khazalid alone would probably be a great enough sin to this dude. Being like, why are you speaking my mother tongue so profoundly, so accurately, only to be spitting mad shade at the dude.
Yeah, so it's like he can just teleport around the world facing a guy in challenge, and if the guy wants to run or saying like, nah, you're not worth it, he will then insult you in whatever language you already speak, if it's like, common tongue or whatever else it is, and insult you so much you're like, okay, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna mess you up. Like an example being like, if he wants to face you, Scar Mitch, all he has to do is say, it was always Calidor II, deal with it. Or for you, Space Knight, he would probably like get you to fight by saying Chainsaw Man is trash anime.
Actually, Chainsaw Man is not my type favorite anime. Probably he would say One Piece is trash, and I will go Super Saiyan and slice it off because my sword is made of cosmic stars.
Exactly, like he'll be able to insult every one of you. Like one for me would probably be like, "You're the dumbest person alive," or something like that. There, like, or something about my mother, for example. The whole point is that he's able to take a look at you, use his gift of tongues to speak your language, and know somewhat about you. That he can just immediately like set you off and trigger
Gift
you
of
that
rage
way.
Bait.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for a beast man.
And he's like the ultimate 4chan guy who can actually fight.
Spits shade in cow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, quick question.
Yes, sir.
Has he ever fought any other famous Warhammer characters? Like other champions, like maybe did he fight Skulltaker?
We actually don't know. It's not stated on here, but it seems doubtful because it seems that all of his challenges so far are unnamed and unimportant characters.
Wait, wait. So you're saying it's just not so popular characters, like the Chaos Gods did not tell him to go fight Karl Franz, go fight Be'lakor, go fight Ungrim, go fight anyone who we know in the game or in the universe.
Maybe not yet, because remember these are still like the first rounds. This is still pretty recent here. Although it may have taken like maybe a year or so, it's hard to tell here. The whole point is that he fought a giant, he probably fought a Bretonnian knight, or maybe a Grail knight, I should say. He fought a dwarven king. And like again, these are probably like little nods to like actual existing characters. Like when I read about the ancient Norscan Jarl that is a giant wight, it's like, okay, that's just a regular version of Krell right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like,
So
Matt is still foreshadowing for us to let us know, hey, by the way, there's more crazy shit to come our way.
Oh yeah, and I bet like eventually, if Wulfrik was to fight, say, Grimgor, he would probably get raffle stomped by him.
Well, I mean, it's Grimgor.
Yeah.
It's Grimgor.
Like, it may insult him, but the whole point is that he wants to fight you in the first place, so he's not going to be affected by that much.
hey, you
Oh, don't
deserve
kill
your
my grandma.
enslavement and all the torture caused to you by the Chaos Dwarves. He's like, Bernie, I'm gonna kill you now.
However, during this whole escapade and like what was going on, Wulfric, while he had to like do this because his gods demanded, he actually hated this curse because it kept him away from his original ambition to marry Hjortis and become the king of the sorrows. Because he couldn't do this while he was off like challenging people and going around the world. So it was when Wulfric returned from one of his hunts or his challenges that a Kurgan shaman approached him. This shaman's name was Zarnath. And this sorcerer told Wulfric that, hey, I can cure you your curse. And Wulfric was like, oh, really? And really wanted to kill the man outright for such a bold and bogus statement. However, there's one thing that Zarnath did that intrigued Wulfric, in which he actually demanded the Sea Fang as payment for curing the curse. Any man who can do such an act will ask for some sort of payment. So Wulfric was like, okay, maybe I'll hear you out then if that's the case. However, his men was saying like, Wulfric, no, don't do this. You don't want to cheat the dark gods. Like, it'll be even worse than what you currently are now. However, he did not care, and he wanted this curse to be lifted. So, Zarnath said, okay, in order to cure this curse, I need an ancient and powerful artifact. It's called the Smile of Sardis, and this artifact is currently in the fortress of the Chaos Dwarves in the Darklands. So Wulfric was like, oh, okay, oh geez, we have to go face off against those guys. So he then like got more marauders to join him. Again, Wulfric is so famous in Norska that people willingly joined him, so it wasn't that difficult to do. So he then traveled to the Darklands, teleporting near a place called the Fortress of Iron. So Wulfric then analyzed the place and was like, okay, this place is pretty heavily guarded. Then his scouts reported, it's like, hey, there's a slave outpost nearby. So Wulfric was like, perfect. Okay, I want you guys to go over there and to incite a slave rebellion to get the guards and like all these other warriors away from this place while I go in for the kill. So they did that and signed like a orcish or whatever slave rebellion to get the majority of the fortress's forces away to go deal with that annoyance. In this place, Wulfric led like his crack team of elite warriors to go to the fortress, in which Wulfric actually dueled a massive bull centaur, in which he actually taunted the beast by saying, was it your mother or your father who was drunk? Yeah, so after slaying the monster, Wulfric then charged into the ziggurat in the middle of the fortress, and there he saw his prize, the Smile of Sardis, being worn by a Chaos Dwarf sorcerer named Korak. Now, the sorcerer realized he was kind of in a shit place and tried to run away, riding a Lamasu of all things, until Wulfric shouted this here, Korak, fatherless mongrel of a vulture, your ancestors were oathbreakers and kingslayers. Small surprise that their descendant doesn't have the guts of a jackal, much less that of a man.
Yeah, that one seems earned though, to be honest. I was looking at that going like, I can't believe this dude's actually running away.
Well, I mean, again, it's like, imagine you're in your ziggurat, mind your own business, and all of a sudden, like, a bunch of burly Viking marauders just charged in. Even being a Chaos Sorcerer is like, I don't like these odds here. I'm gonna head out and do something else instead. And it must be like a pretty... It's probably like one of the weaker ones of the Chaos Dwarf Sorcerers, potentially.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I was like, these guys are still dwarfs at the end of the day. I figure that would still be something they'd be like, yeah, the ancestors are watching. I still need to be concerned about that.
But again, like, even with Korak being a sorcerer, imagine you being like a regular, like a pretty decent mage, but then all of a sudden 40 NPCs show up out of nowhere, like busting down your door.
Well, I'm just hanging out, and then Ragnar Lothbrok shows up at my front door. I'm like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Wulfric be like, FBI, open up!
And just crashing through, yeah. So upon hearing that insult, Korak then charged Wulfric like stupidly and then was defeated by the Chaos Champion, obviously. Then the Smile of Stars was taken off of Zorak, and then, actually, I misspoke there. Korak was not instantly slain. He was sort of like beaten by Wulfric and then knocked out. He was still alive, however, to which then, after taking the Smile of Stars off of his body, Wulfric then threw Zorak into the equivalent of the Chaos Dwarves had to the brass bowl, being burned alive.
Wait, sorry. The brass bowl, as in like...
Oh, the actual real life torture device that was used in ancient Greece.
Oh, that the literal brass bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, that was...
Like unlike our real life counterpart, just Warhammerify it up from the Chaos Dwarves perspective. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Just chaos brass bowl. Okay. Again, fatality. Wolf.
Yeah.
Fatality.
And specifically stage fatality in that case.
Mm-hmm. And from the sounds of it, flawless victory.
Mm-hmm. Potentially, yeah. So after taking the small stars, then Wulfric and his crack team then booked it because the slave rebellion was then taken care of, and they knew the force would be coming back. So it's like, all right, let's get the hell out of Dodge. We got what we need. Let's go. So then they met in like the outskirts of the city, where unfortunately some tragic news occurred. It was unfortunately, like during that slave rebellion, it turns out that his dear friend Sigvtar was gravely wounded during that and was about to die.
No, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, a Norskin,
Yeah, and
Norskin
even like
warrior.
yeah, and then like even like Wulfric saw Sigtar while he was taking his final breath, and his last words, again, this is paraphrasing. I don't know the exact ones. Mitch, you can correct me on this one here. He was like, "I'm sorry I wasn't stronger, but if this leads you to being cured of this curse, then it was all worth it in the end." And he finally passed away.
What a homie.
Yeah. And Wulfric organized like a proper funeral pyre for his friend, even throwing his pallbearers into the flames so Sigtar wouldn't arrive in the afterlife alone.
Oh, okay. So
Yep. Yeah,
Right.
traditional
Yeah.
Norse
Yeah.
traditional tradition.
Again, like this was the closest thing that Wulfric had to a brother. So he was saying he was pissed was very like not the best way to say it, really.
It's really undermining how like in sorrow this guy is right now.
Pretty much, yeah. So then Wulfric returned to the Tsar town, probably to recuperate a bit after Zarnath got his prize. However, he was gone longer than usual on his usual challenges because, again, like he still had to like scout the place and incite the slave rebellion to then get into the fortress in the first place. During this time, like Viglundir, King Viglundir the Tsarls, assumed he was dead and decided to like try to bolster his own power by actually making an alliance with the Aeslings, the current survivors after this time, because the Aeslings now have a new king named Svineborn. Yes, Svineborn, a new warrior king. Yeah.
Swine?
So
Wait,
Viglund-
swine born?
Svineborn.
Oh,
Svineborn.
swine. Okay, I was like
Swine.
to
Yeah.
say.
Mm-hmm. Again, like sorry about the pronunciation of these names. It's kind of weird for me, at least.
No, it's all good. My first thought was being like swineborn, as in like German pigborn. Like, okay, this dude's gonna be a reliable character.
It wouldn't surprise me if GW authors made that as like a tongue-in-cheek thing, kind of like Tehenamon was originally teeny weeny,
Oh yeah. A little bit of a twist.
Yep.
or like Tic-Tac-Toe being another one too.
I mean, like, here is King
Exactly.
Swineborn, and this dude's just gonna be like the fattest fuck in all the lands.
I mean, he's an okay warrior. Like being a king of a Norscan tribe, like is still pretty good in general compared to like the normal like empire man. But still, it's like Viglundir decided to like try to form an alliance with the Aeslings because even though the Sarls won, they still both sides suffered pretty good big losses. And was like, hey, how about we team up so that way other tribes don't invade us? You know, the general stuff because Norska is full of like hungry, warmongering tribes that'll kill each other as much as the Empire.
Yeah, that's kind of their thing, their shtick. We like killing things, we like fighting.
Yeah, so Viglundir, assuming Wulfric was dead, offered Hjord's hand in marriage to Svineborn here in hopes of, like, solidifying this alliance here. However, Wulfric then returned, and that kind of put a dent into his plans. Because the Aeslings did not forget that Wulfric killed their previous king, the despised, but also respected him at the same time, and refused to make this deal as long as Wulfric remained alive.
Wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a weird Norscan culture, but they didn't like that he still killed their original king. Probably because Torgal was better than Svineborn, as you'll see going forward.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, any questions in the meantime?
I'm
Okay.
actually trying to think of one right now. Okay, so just so a quick recap.
Mhm.
After the funeral of his friend, meanwhile back at home, they decided to make alliance with. They decided to like cooperate with their enemy because of the new king.
Yeah, and I guess Viglundir, remember, he's still a follower of Zinch, so he's trying to like do schemes and trickery in order to like increase his own power. And decided, well, this was just one Norscan tribe, but there's still plenty of others out there. From like I guessing he knows from personal experience, so he's like, you know what, the Aeslings, they're still a pretty like mighty force, even like now after being beaten by us. So how about we like try to put an alliance together? Because remember, Viglundir spent most of his like treasures and his hoards of gold for that battle alone.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Okay.
that makes sense then. Yeah, being like, you guys are literally just, you guys get one victory and we have to suffer for this one champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Svineborn decided that to try to take care of Wulfric in some way. Now he knew he couldn't take Wulfric on in like honorable direct combat because Wulfric towered over the guy and was like pure muscle compared to him, like even by Norskin standards.
Oh, yeah, he's
However,
like
he's
8
still
feet tall, isn't he?
I don't know about that, but Wulfric again, Norskins are still pretty big people compared to regular Empire Bretonnian folk.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though Svineborn is still a king of the Acelings, he wasn't as good as Torgo, I'm guessing, but still like good enough to be a king. But Wulfric, Svineborn still challenged the World Walker with a plan in mind, and challenged him specifically at the Wolf Forest. Now, mind you, the Wolf Forest is a giant great arena that the Sarls created in honor of Wulfric. We actually use this in order to recruit new warriors in his gang as like a way to see if they're worthy enough. Now, just imagine like a place where there's a bunch of platforms, like kind of dispersed out. We have to jump from one to another. And if you fall through, there is a bed of spikes waiting for you down at the bottom.
Okay, and
Oh
they have to
boy.
fight on this thing? They have to fight each
Yeah.
other?
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
so,
I can
that's
imagine what
it.
it.
The one guy got butterfingers. Clearly, I'm the superior victor.
Or one guy slipped on a little sheet of ice on there. Like clearly, I'm the better of him. Well,
Clearly,
yeah,
I'm
because
the
he's not
better
clumsy.
fighter. Have you guys
Well,
ever
I mean,
seen? It's
he's-
like Kung Pao. I'm bleeding, making me the victor.
Oh my gosh.
It's basically
yeah,
the
like,
same logic.
Yeah, so like I said, imagine some arena where there's a bunch of platforms on there with some space in between. If you somehow fall down, there's a bed of spikes waiting for you at the bottom. So, Wulfric was there waiting for Svineborn to appear, like waiting in this great arena, because that was like the agreement of this challenge here. However, it was not Svineborn that showed up, but a massive champion of chaos, the size of a troll, clad in black and steel armor and bearing a massive demon axe. And everyone was like, "Oh, what the hell is this thing here?" Okay, I mean, I guess I'll fight this thing. It shouldn't be too difficult. I fought Giant before, so I should be good. And it was like during this time of like being set up and staring down each other that he realized who this champion actually was. Although the champion was more like a wild animal than a normal one, being like sizing up and down, grunting and groaning and that, until it finally shouted something that Wulfric could understand, being Freyner, being its name. And Wulfric realized he actually heard about this guy. He was a great warrior that earned great glory throughout Norska, and actually a former champion of the Azelings themselves. Now he's a giant Forsaken guy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and Wulfric actually felt pity for him because he feared that this is what could happen to someone if they lose the attention and the favor of the Chaos Gods over time. And he wondered,
Wait,
like,
really?
I mean, yeah, remember, Forsaken are people that gained multiple mutations or whatever, like before Chaos spawned them, and then probably got left and forgotten while the Chaos Gods go find someone new to play with.
Oh yeah. Those guys. Yeah, those guys. Yeah. I remember now.
Alright, so the duel started with Freyner swinging wildly and Wulfric dodging and weaving, but he managed to cut off his arm and thought he was the winner. Unfortunately, remember, Freyner is a Forsaken, so out of that stump that formed a spike of bone and meat that spawned from it. So then Wulfric was like, oh, okay, shit, hang on, let me try this here. So he sliced the stomach of this guy here, but then a bunch of tentacles spawned from the slice wound. He's like, oh, god damn it, what the hell do I have to do to kill this guy? So then during the battle, like again, Wulfric was kind of dodging and weaving, trying to take away from this guy, because Freyner was big and strong, but a bit on the slow side due to his sheer mass. So then Wulfric, like, getting irritated, and then eventually realized something. Freyner was like on one of the platforms, but not in the best spot. So using his cunning, Wulfric then managed to push the guy off the platform, with Freyner landing on one of the spikes down below. Still alive, mind you. So then Wulfric went down below, not being scared himself, and used his sword to split Freyner's head in twain.
If you tell me that like tentacles come out of this dude's head like a Resident Evil boss, I might leave.
No, thankfully he did
okay.
not. He was actually
Okay.
dead this time around. The head was the weakness, thankfully.
Or a
Reverse Hydra.
Bloodborne boss.
Yeah. This is semi-Bloodborne, not fully Bloodborne here.
Yeah, it is very Bloodborne-esque, huh? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and actually, Svineborn was sort of like in the trees near the forest that just watched the whole thing. It was like, oh my god, what the hell happened? And Wulfric actually came out of the platforms like sort of climbing up from them, saw Svineborn just stared him down as Svineborn was just shitting himself. Now, Wulfric didn't do anything to him, but then nobody else challenged him after that, as you can wonder why.
So
Are you not entertained?
So what happened to Sveinbolt or whatever the dude's name was? Like how do you pronounce it?
Hang on, Svineborn. We'll get back to him in a second here.
Oh,
So
oh no.
yeah, this whole thing didn't work. So then Wulfric went back to Zarnath, the shaman guy,
Yeah.
and said like, okay, what's the next thing to do? And Zarnath was like, okay, I have the Smile of Sardis, but in order to fully cure you, I need to go to a place of magical power in order to like use this thing and to channel into it. So unfortunately, we need to go to the island of Ulthuan, realm of the elves, as that's where like there's a bunch of magical properties, so I can hone and perform my ritual. And I was like, Wolfric's like, oh god damn! First the Chaos Dwarves, now those assholes. Okay, fine. Give me a few days, and I'll try to get some more warriors to help us out. And it was during this time. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, elves are not really a problem. I mean, they are like far weaker than Chaos Dwarfs.
Not really. Like, yeah, elves cannot take as much of a punch as Chaos Dwarves, but they do have a lot of finesse and skill with themselves. Like, remember
Especially
that.
a bunch of arrows.
Yeah, especially that. And you're going into their home turf as well, too.
Yeah.
They may not have the strength, but they have the numbers.
And remember, Wulfric is still leading like just a bunch of marauders, guys in kind of like pelts and barely any armor, facing off against the elves of all people. Like, even the wall of spearmen can still do some damage to marauders.
That's true. As soft as the elves are, they still can manage with the. Listen, even the weakest elf can manage with like a long stick. All right.
Yeah, definitely. And again, those are the weakest bunch. Imagine you trying to face off against a white lion or like one of the sword masters.
Or a
then
dragon.
I'm just fucked.
Yeah, exactly. You are. So
over.
It was during this time of preparation that's when like Signborn went back to Vigundir. Was like, okay, unfortunately the plan didn't work. So then Vigundir was like, okay, maybe we couldn't kill him like outright using a champion. So let's try it this way instead. And he decided to use deceit and trickery. So Vigundir actually talked to a warrior under Wulfric's gang there, a guy named Broendolf. And he said, okay, I want you to kill the champion when he least expects it, sort of like stab him in the back. And if you do, then you can have my daughter's hand in marriage. And Broendolf was like, okay, sounds good.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, Vigundir is really pimping out his daughter, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And also at this point just being like, do you give even the slightest shit about her? Or like at that point, like, why are you so averse to Warfric at this point, bro?
I can make this a meme. Like when he says, "Hey, if you backstab Wulfric, I can give you my daughter." He said, "I would never marry a woman. There is no way you can seduce." And he sees how hot she is. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, because remember, even by Norse standards, like Hjordis is really freaking beautiful.
So
sometimes I wonder, is Slanesh doing this?
Unclear, really. And also, I forgot to mention, like, earlier, back when Vigundir offered her hand in marriage to Wulfric at the start, like, Hjordis does have a soft spot for Wulfric. Like, she does admire his strength and, like, his beard and all that, being, like, the prime Norscan warrior and all that. So, I forgot to mention that. Sorry, guys. But, yeah. So, going forward, so then after preparations, Wulfric then went into the realm of Ulthuan and, like, teleported there using his longship and his crew there and landed in such a place there. You know, a voyage that is really taken by very few Norskins for obvious reasons, being like the elves being proper warriors, proper nation, and having the best navy in the world, too.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. So then, like, being in this place here, they were, like, on the outskirts of a beautiful plain field with, like, a little shrine or temple nearby, or, like, a building nearby there. So then they saw, like, a cove of, like, women, like, a group of women going to the place there. And Zarna was like, oh, guys, get down, watch out. And the Wulfric was
I
like,
thought being Norskins, they'd be like, they hot, let's go that way.
Well, yeah, the Wulfric was about to like go and say like, oh yeah, we can capture them, make them as slaves. But Zarna was like, no, you don't understand. This is a coven of elven witches here. So if you want to take them on, you have to kill them, like just immediately before they can utter a single word. And Wulfric was like, okay, all right, we can do that. And so like in a sneak attack, in an ambush, they charged and killed all those women there. To which then Wulfric heard like a big laugh of some kind. And I was like, what's going on? And it turned out that it was Zarnath just maniacally laughing, saying, Wulfric, you idiot. Like, I can't believe you actually fell for that. Like at first, I thought the Chaos Dwarves would actually kill you, but when that failed, I knew the elves would finish the jobs. Like I never wanted to help you or cure your curse. I just wanted to get rid of you here. And by the way, those women you killed, they weren't witches. They were actually the wives of noble men that came for like to pray for fertility or for like childbirth of some kind. And yeah, so Wolfric was like, "You son of a bitch," and tried to swipe him, but all there was just air. Zarnath was never actually there as he left. But before his figure disappeared, he managed to shoot up a giant flare into the air to get the elves' attention and to have them come by. To which then immediately there was a bunch of archers, spearmen, and a whole bunch of silverhounds coming by to crash into the Norskin army.
Run for your lives!
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta break some stuff. Like, okay, what? All right. Why does this guy now want Warfrick dead? What is the beef with that? Also, I just realized too, being like the dude who was like, "Hey, you can have my daughter's hand in marriage." He said this earlier to the assassin, correct?
Yeah.
To Broendorf. Like, I doubt he said that when Svineborn was nearby.
Yeah, so he would rather be like, "Hey, you random cutthroat assassin dude I've only just met. You seem like a good son-in-law compared to the dude who won me a war. Yeah, you could totally lead and take my place, by all means, bro." Like, everyone just fucking hates Warfrick for, like, no reason. There's a lot of reasons to not like this guy, and they aren't hating him for any of the valid ones.
I mean, Wolfric is probably the best of the Norskin champions of this time, and when you're at the top, everyone envies and hates you.
Okay. Yeah, so this is just a situation of the powerful will be envied, and we must surpass them, no matter the cost. You, daughter, marry this assassin.
Yeah. So as you can tell, like Wolfric and his Norskin mini army were surrounded by everything, and so they just try to do like a Hail Mary escape of some kind back to the boat near the coast there, or near the coast. And unfortunately, they were taking heavy losses as elven arrows fired upon them. Spearmen used their spears to skewer plain Norskins, or the charges of the Silverhand just crushing through them. Thankfully, Wolfric managed to get out of there while the rest of his soldiers were being massacred. Him and one other soldier, specifically Broendolf. And so they went straight to the coast and then realized that the Sea Fang was no longer there. And it's like, what the fuck? And he looked around and saw a bunch of crushed wood and other stuff there. Until he saw on the coast a massive merworm was along the coast there and just managed to destroy the Sea Fang and sort of gobbled it up too. And Broendolf realizing this it could be the end, was like, Hey, Wolfric, I wanted to tell you, since we're gonna die here, I still respect you, bro, and want to tell you that Viglundir actually asked me to kill you and to backstab you when you least expected it. Just wanted to get that off my chest and just say that you're a good dude, and sorry that I even thought about doing that there.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, because remember, it's still a Norskin warrior. Viglundir is kind of a dick and didn't realize it's still Norskin marauder have some level of honor amongst themselves at least.
Yeah, well, and he eventually came to the realization, oh, this other guy is a complete shithead and a complete, yellow belly weasel. You're actually kind of Chad-based, so,
Yeah, so Wolfric then realizing this just goes into beast mode. And what he does is that, still clad in his, blackened armor, jumps straight into the water and swims down to where the merman was, beat the just started punching the shit out of it until it's, coughed up parts of the Sea Fang and just left. And this is what Wolfric needed, because he didn't have his ship anymore, but he actually had the dragon figurehead, the most important part of the Sea Fang. And with Broendolf by his side, he then cut his hand and said, all right, I got a list of people who need to be taken care of. First thing first, that asshole Zarnath. Where is he? And then the figurehead teleported him and Broendolf to a very unsuspected place. It was actually in the middle of the Empire of all places. Turns out Zarnath was not actually a Kurgan shaman. He was an Empire wizard that just disguised himself.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What? Plot twist.
I know, yeah. So Wolfric was like, okay, so this guy was not even a Kurgan shaman. He was a scummy Empire man in the first place. All right, can't take this now because he's still in a pretty big town. So he's like, all right, first things first. I'm going to get back to my hometown and gather enough warriors to take this place down. Then I'll deal with the others later. So he cut his hand, then teleported back to the Sorrow territory. So they went back, like with Gunnar being like, oh, "God damn it, you're still alive," and like he didn't say that out loud, but he was still thinking that. So then Wolfric was like going around until he realized something. He was like, "Hang on a second, where's Hjordis? Like, why didn't she by your side, Gunnar?" And Gunnar was like, I don't know what you're talking about."
Oh,
So
God,
then he, like,
no, don't tell me.
so then,
Oh no!
so then Wolfric like charged straight into like the chambers of this place here, and then saw that Svineborn was actually forcing himself on Hjordis.
Oh,
Yeah, not a
I
good
don't
time.
like
So then
that.
Wolfric, upon seeing this, just immediately went to a rage, like grabbed Svineborn and started beating the shit out of him to a bloody pulp.
Yeah, I'd
And it was
imagine.
actually took like the Glundir like to come by and like beg Wolfric to stop there and get a bunch of guards to almost like just calm him down. The Svineborn still being alive still, but just imagine like the bloodiest, most bruised face you can imagine upon seeing that there.
This,
And
yeah, this.
because he was like, no, Wolfric, please, if you kill this guy, then the Acelings will demand retribution and kill all of us. We're not ready to deal with such a thing like that. And Wolfric was like, all right, fine, I'll stop. But you owe me a bunch for this. And I was like, the was like, okay, what do you need? And Wolfric's like, first things first. I need a new ship constructed to replace the one I lost, and a bunch of warriors to take on an Empire town, where we'll be getting a bunch of treasures and riches. And I was like, okay, fine, let's do this then. And so like they went about to like build a new kind of fleet together. Because one thing about the sea thing is like you don't need just that ship in order to teleport. You can like sort of put a bunch of ropes and sort of like tie almost like a train of ships behind it, and it'll just pull the rest through the realm of chaos in order to like teleport down there.
Oh, okay. Also,
Yeah, so
why does he still trust these guys?
Oh no, Wolfric doesn't trust them, but he still needs a bunch of troops to take down Sarnath. Don't worry,
Couldn't he
he has a plan in mind. You'll see it later down.
Couldn't he just kill all of the leaders and be like, I'm running this place now because we're run by a bunch of, like, skaven-bellied cowards?
You'll see later down the line what he does in the end here. So
Okay.
then, like, Wolfric gets the Sea Fang repaired, like, made brand new with the dragon figurehead still there, a bunch of other ships being constructed as well, and some new warriors, like a pretty big army that came by, as well as from other tribes. Because apparently these Norskins breed like rabbits somehow. Don't know why.
Oh, I have a quick question. Like, wait, so you're telling me this witch, Baba Yar, created that sea fang, right? She created
We actually don't know if she created or if she just somehow stumbled and found it herself. It's unclear the actual origins of Sea Fang itself.
I'm just saying, if she created it, if she's, I am the maker of the ship, Wolfric could have just spared her and then and forced her to make more sea fangs instead of just having one.
Unsure about that there. Plus, if you have like so many scene things like that, that would cause even more chaos that way.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Warfric
too
only
much
has
magic.
so much blood to spare.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too. Like imagine each one of those sea fangs only wanted Wolfric's blood and no one else's.
Have you? This is a random thing of
Okay,
like.
guys, like this. Okay, guys, I'm gonna pour blood in this bottle, and I want you to pass it over to all those ships so that we can prepare for a hyper jump on Reichland.
Oh yeah, and sorry, I forgot to mention something else. It's a very important thing of like how Wolfric like stopped himself and like did all that. So Vagundir said, "Okay, fine, I'll build you like the new fleet and I'll get you a bunch of more warriors. However, swear on this axe of corn here, again a holy relic that the Saros happen to have, saying that you no longer will have any ambition to marry Hjordis or to like take any lands after you're done with this here." And Wolfric was like, "Fine, I don't care anymore." And then like did a pledge that he will no longer want any more land or to be king of the Sarls when it comes to that.
And
Yeah, so after that, again, this will come down, this will be important later down the line here. So then after the fleet and his crew was assembled, he was like, all right, everyone ready? Let's go and kill some Empire folk. So then, like, after being teleported down there, the might of the Norskins then were then unleashed on this Empire town. Because mind you, this Empire town, while it is a big town, it's still like kind of an inland stuff. So they did not expect a bunch of freaking Norskins to appear out of nowhere and to attack them just suddenly like that. It's not Nordland, where they kind of expect that on the daily.
Also, I got a question real quick. Just because you said that he teleported to the Empire, and then was like, "Oh, this dude is an Empiresman," and then Warfric just walked back up north.
No, he teleported back north. I should have said that.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the Sea Fang can actually he can will it to teleport where he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was exclusive to like issuing challenges or like hunting prey, so to speak.
Wait,
Well,
it's like Arball's mechanic in Total War Warhammer 3. You can just travel across the world and fight other champions.
yeah, because it's not inclined to its challenges. He just used Seafang for the Chaos God challenges that he already had assigned him in the first place. Because, I mean,
Oh,
why
okay.
not?
Okay.
It's just that this time it's a personal thing for him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so upon like the attack on this town here, like the Empire men tried to hold back as much as they can, but they were not ready for this onslaught of just Norscan muscle and might that just appeared out of nowhere, showing the power of the Chaos Gods over the simple Empire folk. With even Wolfric himself like killing the the leader of this town here, like a noble, and just slaughtering him down to a man. Then he went to the building where Zarnath was in, and then like punched the door open and saw that Zarnath was just waiting for him. And it was revealed that Zarnath actually was trying to kill Wulfric because it was prophesied that he would die at Wulfric's hands in the future.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
well, he
yeah, so it turns out
definitely
that,
will now.
yeah, he will now, because as the great Uguay said, one often meets his path or his future on the on the road he takes to avoid it.
Yeah, this is a classic tale of like, hey, maybe if you didn't fuck around, you wouldn't have to find out now.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, so it turns out that Zarnath was actually like a wizard of one of the Imperial colleges of magic. Unclear which one, but doesn't matter here. Because upon like Wolfric saying, well, now you're gonna die, Zarnath was like, nah, I got one trick left. And using the Smile of Sardis, he actually like got a construct equivalent to an Ushapti that came alive and started charging and fighting the World Walker itself. Thankfully, Wolfric was so skilled that he managed to like cut down this construct, this Ushapti, down to a piece, and then went straight to Zarnath before he could teleport away or do anything. To which then Wolfric, in his hatred and his rage, performed the equivalent of the Blood Eagle on this mage himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone with this story, I don't know if this guy necessarily deserves it, but
And for those who don't know, the Blood Raven, as it's called in Warhammer, is supposed to be like a play on the Blood Eagle that the Vikings use in real life, being like a very torturous and shameful execution of some kind. You can find out the details yourself. I'm not going to list them down here.
no, yeah, go Google that for yourself if you really need to know, though I don't necessarily recommend it.
Yeah. All right, so then when that was done, like then Wolfric said, "All right, this has been done." I think he also did an offering to one of the Chaos Gods, being like a bonus. Unclear, I forget, but yeah, he finished his first of his the people on his list, Zarnath.
I also need to laugh at the fact that this dude was like, "I have one last trick up my sleeve. Here's one small foe." Like, bro, I literally fought a war to get here.
Yeah. So once, sorry,
guys,
go
I
ahead.
had a question to make. I googled what you said about the Blood Eagle.
Oh boy. Yeah, and just letting you know that for the Blood Raven, it's called, it was actually a method that Valkia the Bloody herself taught the Norskins.
Valkia! The Valkia! Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I remember playing as her in one of my videos.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
just a little little nod to her there. All right, so Wolfric being done with that is like, all right, let's get back. Our work is done here. And just another thing as well, because Vagundir, being the deceitful asshole that he is, before Wolfric left, he tried to like convince Wolfric's men to betray him and said, all right, if you guys do that, you'll get some of the gold in the hoard that we get from this Empire town here. Because it's still going to be pretty profitable in that case. Wolfric already expected that and said, hey guys, just letting you know, I don't care about money, so you guys can have all the hoard that you want there. Just remain loyal to me if you can. And thankfully it worked. Like, none of the men ever dared to betray Wolfric during this raid.
We don't need to have money.
Mm-hmm. So then Wolfric was on board the Seafang with Svineborn behind him, because Svineborn decided to like journey on to gain, I don't know, some glory or just to participate in some good old raiding. And unfortunately, like during this time, like when the Seafang was preparing to go to the Realm of Chaos, Wolfric looked at Svineborn and said, Svineborn, I know what the hell you and Vagundir were doing, and honestly, I'm done with the both of you. So here's what I'm going to do here. I changed the banner of my ship to be your banner in this case. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the lines of the Seafang and leave all these warriors stranded in the Empire. So that way when we return home, the Acelings will realize and think that you were the ones that abandoned and left them in this place, and you'll lose all your honor. And Swarm's like, no, please don't do this. Please, beat me, kill me, whatever you want to do. Just please leave me my honor. It's the last thing that I really have. And Wolfric then looked at Svineborn and said, Oh, you sure about that? So then Wulfric, out of nowhere, I don't know how the hell he did this, pulled out a snake and shoved it down Svineborn's throat, then killing him outright there.
Yeah.
Wait, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
Yeah, it's
I will
freaking weird.
a literal snake! Slanesh, was this your idea?
Yeah,
No, I'm not being. It's not a euphemism. It was an actual freaking snake of all things that he shoved down his throat.
we're going back to King of the Hill references here. Pocket sand.
Imagine Hendo when reading his lore right now. He's like, oh my gosh, one of Sotek's children has been shoved into someone's throat.
Dude,
Mhm.
I can't wait to read that part. That's gonna be amazing
Dude,
because it's probably gonna be as out of the blue as you just said it. He just pulled a snake out of his pocket.
Yes.
It's like a magic trick.
Can you? I don't even. What the fuck? I'm just like it's this bizarre. Like of all the crazy shit that happens in Warhammer, for a man to just out of nowhere pull a goddamn snake out of his shoe, is here you go.
I know that was the honest thing. I was like, okay, how the hell did you get your hands on a snake? You're in Norska. It's cold as hell up there.
Can we? I need
think-
someone to do like an anime. You guys ever see Taxi Driver by chance?
I have not, unfortunately.
There's just a scene at the end where like he goes on, like the protagonist goes on a killing spree, and this dude tackles him to the ground, and he has like a hidden knife in his boot, like taped to his boot. I need someone to do it as an animation and replace it with Warfrick just pulling a snake out of his boot and shoving it down this dude's throat. This is the most bizarre thing of everything you've said today, which is saying a lot. Anyways,
I think I have a theory of how he got the snake. Maybe he accidentally raided a pet store and he's like, "Ooh, guys, look, a cool snake. I'm gonna keep it as a pet. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna shove it in your throat."
oh wait, fresh opportunity arises. Anyways, okay, so he just kills this dude with a snake. He just okay, strangles him with a snake.
Gosh, bro. He kills a dude with a snake. Oh my gosh.
Like I can't get past this. But so we're gonna just have to move on because I'm not gonna get closure with how bizarre that is.
Yeah, it was so awesome though.
Yeah. Give me just a second, guys. I'm just checking on something real quick here.
I thought I was like, Rad has to take a minute to get his composure as well. From the snake fatality.
Snakeality.
Snaketality.
Okay. Sorry, so going forward, so then he returns back to the Sorrow hometown, to which he then went up to King Vlagundir and tossed the severed head of a Svineborn there, all swollen up from the venom of the snake and just bloody, beaten, poison, whatever you want to imagine there. And Vlagundir's like, God damn it, Wulfric, what the hell have you done? Now the Acelings will surely come upon us. We're not ready. We cannot face against this. And Wulfric's like, not my problem anymore. I remember you made me take an oath to no longer be have any ambition to become a king, so I'm gonna be out of here. And Wulfric started to walk away. And the girls were like, no, Wulfric, you must stay and help us. You're the only one who could actually stand a chance against him. Wulfric kept on walking. To which Vlagundir said, what about Hjordis? You loved her. Don't you care about her anymore? Wulfric paused a little bit, then just kept on walking. And just left the town there. And as he went a bit further out into sort of the hilltop there, he then saw the entire town being burned to a crisp with the Azelings just burning the whole place down as Wulfric let out a chuckle. But there's one last thing about the story you guys need to know. Because Wulfric did actually visit someone before Vlagundir and decides to make one final offering to the gods before finally becoming the World Walker. So he stands at the edge of the cliff, and then in his bag he then pulls out a few things as he does offering to each of the 4 gods. First, a pale-faced skin. And he said to Khorne, the face I would have kissed and cherished. To Slanesh, the heart that I would have cherished and loved. To Nurgle, the belly I would have filled with sons and daughters. And finally, he had a lock of golden hair they pulled out. Looked at it a bit and stroked it and said, to Tzeentch, the last hope of love I will ever have. As he tossed them all to the sea. And thus Wulfric the man died, and Wulfric the World Walker, champion of chaos, was finally made.
I am
That's like it's
actually
like a
kind of
villain's
speechless at that
an
ending.
anime
Bro
villain's
went full black metal.
And
Jesus
and that is
Christ.
like, and that is the origin of Wulfric the Wonder. As we finally come back here, hopefully, like I did a good job with the storytelling when it comes to this. Like I'm sure I made a few mistakes here and there, but what do you guys
good.
think?
You did
What the
good, bro.
fuck?
Congratulations.
What was that ending
Clap
though?
your hands right now.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Hjordis, like, if Wulfric could not have it, then I guess, like, nobody else could. And maybe he did, like, a painless death to her to spare her from the Aesling's wrath, but it's unclear. The
Well, I
plan
mean,
was,
I
like,
was about to say, I'm like, bro could have just taken her with at that point, but no, I'm gonna Buffalo Bill her and like take off her face. Whew. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
so, what do you guys think, and how do you look upon Wulfric now after learning about his origin?
Oh.
That, that's that is something. I mean, it makes perfect sense for. It's really cool. It's like it makes Wolfric completely different from the other Chaos characters. Well, there are some with some tragic and sad, but very emotional backstories. But for Wolfric, it makes him really special. I mean, you gotta admit, this guy went through a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like, in the end, like, while Wulfric did become, like, a pretty legendary Chaos champion, he kind of, like, did himself dirty by just boasting instead of keeping his mouth shut.
Yeah, honestly. Well, yeah, the idea that this is all just because he had one drunken night is pretty comical. But
Mhm.
I didn't realize, like, so this dude, okay, so the reason he becomes the World Walker in the end is literally just because he's so fed up with everyone's bullshit of being betrayed by everybody.
Oh
And
yeah, I'm just letting you guys know that this doesn't finish his challenges. He still has to do them for the rest of his life. So
Yeah.
Wulfric is damned because eventually, like I'm guessing until the end times when he finally meets his fate. Not gonna say that, but he does. Like he is just eternally damned because there will always be someone stronger than him. Like whether it's say Carl, Grimgor, Archaon, whoever. Eventually, he will meet his end through those challenges because he was given an impossible task for such a boastful and arrogant knight that he had.
So, actually, that's an interesting thing because you bring up the end times, and this does bring a question to my mind, not about the end times, but about another character in general. Doesn't this dude have a rivalry with the Dark Elf Rakarth?
Rakarth?
I actually did not know about that.
Yeah, I'm
What do you
pretty sure
mean?
for some reason. Okay, I guess I gotta cover it for spoiler alert. There's like for the end times that like he ends up
That's
fighting
okay. It's
Rakarth.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
handle it.
Yeah. He ends up fighting Rakarth, and that's sort of like the big like last battle that he has. So I thought that they had some kind of prior established narrative going on between those two. Because if the end, you know what, it's the end time, so maybe not. Maybe it was literally just, yeah, Warfrick just showed up. Why not?
Really? Because I thought that Wulfric died to Volton, Herald of Sigmar, in the end times.
Bolton.
Or maybe Rakarth
Yo.
dies there, and then, yeah, maybe you're correct, and Rakarth just gets killed there by Wulfric.
Yeah, because I thought
Wait.
Wulfric died by some Empire man, whereas like Volton or maybe like Marcus Wolfhard like shooting him in the head or something like that. Again, details are really hazy for me because end times like bleh.
Yeah, the end times
Wait,
is a
Rakarth.
fever dream in and of itself.
Beastmaster?
Sorry, who?
Sorry?
Rakarth the Beastmaster.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, that dude.
again, like
Yeah.
I have no idea in regards to this, so this is completely like new to me here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure that I'm sure Warfric has, fought in every corner and every, type of character across the world. I mean, he literally started off going to have to fight Tomb King, so the idea of him going into Nagaron is not a stretch.
Yeah, so like I said, like he never really faced off any named characters as much as I could tell, at least in his origin story. I don't know if he has like any other specific ones afterwards. Maybe he does, but we just wanted to focus on his origins. And he was just going out facing a bunch of like nameless champions, giants or monsters or whatever in his original story.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Another question. Do you think Gotrek and Felix met Wolfric?
I don't know, but I doubt it. Otherwise, I may have heard about that. But who knows? If they did, it may have been weird. Although, then that means that it will deny like either Wulfric or Gotrek dying in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would bet money that Wulfric would immediately charge like Gotrek to try to take him down, and Gotrek also doing that to him.
Yeah. Oh, I also thought of some crazy death battle scenarios for Wolfric. Who would win, Wolfric or Torox?
Ooh.
Possible.
I mean, it depends if Wulfric can figure out Torox's weakness fast enough, really. That's the thing.
Yeah, 'cause I am looking
remember,
at it,
like- He's a Minotaur literally made out of brass except for that one spot in his neck.
yeah, like I would give that to Torox myself, but because I get Torox has like the coordinate rage that's just like otherworldly. I mean, I know like Warfric is an otherworldly fighter as well, but I don't know. Torox has a lot of crazy. Dude literally lives to slaughter and destroy everything. It's not just like Warfric where it's like, oh yeah, like I'm just gonna hold and have noble champion battles.
Yeah, now if Torox was just like a regular Minotaur without a brass body, I would give it to Wulfric 100%. But because of that
Same.
brass body and just like how Wulfric could not really chink or hinder him unless he goes straight for the throat, that would be a big disadvantage to Wulfric. Because at least with Freynir being like a Forsaken that could just spawn new weapons out of anywhere, Wulfric's still able to cut off like slices of him and hinder him a bit, and also got lucky by pushing him off the platform and like stunning him.
Also, one quick thing, one tangent I'm going to throw in here. Apparently, it was like I did read a little bit of the book earlier this week, and those teeth that Wulfric has are actually, it's not just like for aesthetic, it's actually apparently capable of biting through iron.
Oh, okay. I did not know that strength, but I knew that it was like really strong teeth like that of a wolf, hence his name.
Yeah, so dude has other, and it's like, there's a thing that's like, yes, I saw him drunkenly bite through a sheet of iron. He claims that one day he will bite through steel.
Nice.
Oh man.
Alright.
Hold on. And wait? Isn't there a Warhammer character who eats metal?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I just can't think of someone right now.
At first I thought it was Gark Ironskin.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that ogres can eat anything, although they do prefer meat, but they could literally eat rocks if they wanted to, although it's like considered a poor man's choice.
Yeah, I just thought that Gark Ironskin also eats metal, but never mind.
I'm sure maybe some big monster could also do so as well.
Yeah.
Maybe like a troll too, especially.
Yeah. Okay, another I'm gonna do two more death battles and end it right here. So I have like these cool ideas right now. Wolfric versus Scarbrand.
Scarbrand.
Yeah. Actually, no, no. You know what? Because Scarbrand has had his ass kicked so many times in the old world that I'm going to give it to Wulfric.
Oh, really? Okay.
There's a lot of fights for some reason. Like, Malekith fights fucking Scarbrand and Valkyrie at the same time and wins.
Why did he do that?
He did that?
End times.
You're telling me the Witch King just defeated the Valkyrie the Bloody and Scarbrand, two coordinate champions?
Is this in the end times, Mitch?
Yeah, it's end time stuff. And then that's literally when Grombrindle shows up and is like, alright, I'ma kill you. Oh wait, never mind, Lamau.
Again, end times writing there. But remember, Malekith is also Malekith himself. Super Giga Chad with magic, mind you.
Yeah, we gotta remember who Malekith. Remember who you are.
Yeah, the son of a Narian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I get that's one. What's the next one, Space Knight?
Wolfric versus Arbol.
Arbol. Now, question: is Arbol on his mount or is it just on foot? Both of them.
On foot.
Okay. I actually don't know for this one. It's kind of hard because I need to know more about Arbol himself. I love playing as him in the game, but I actually don't know too much about his lore other than the fact I think he raided Ind a bit and then became champion of Khorne and then got his, Gaze of Khorne thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me change that. Since I did Khorne already and I did like Beastman already, let me think of another character.
I have one for you guys if you want to ask. And this could be like another character we could do later down the line. Wolfric versus Queek Headtaker.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Queek sometime because I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah, he has a pretty good story too.
He does. It's actually kind of similar to what we just covered, but I mean, obviously not exactly the same. But
right.
I'm gonna give that one to. Oh shit. This one's
pretty hard, huh?
This one is actually surprisingly tough because I've read both books that like have Queek in it, and Queek goes from being a real incompetent idiot to being the biggest dick Skaven in all the lands. That I really don't know. Yeah, it depends on that. Like if WULFRIK is using subtle cunning to do it, I think he wins because Queek is pretty quick to just like go head first and just like not think about the outcomes.
Yeah, because WULFRIK is definitely more knowledgeable than Queek and does have a lot of freaking experience. Like, I think Queek, he mainly fights orcs and dwarves. WULFRIK has fought pretty much almost every race on the planet by now.
That is true. The thing that gives me like that makes me think Queek would stand a chance is that there's a scene in the Rise of the Horned Rat where he fights like an orc chieftain on a wyvern, and he basically does a Metal Gear Rising to kill the thing.
Ah, okay.
Pretty big.
Nice.
What?
He like
Just like
stabs the wyvern in the eye, and then as the wyvern like jerks its head up, he like releases Dwarf Gouger, and then as he's falling, he like decapitates the orc war boss.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
That's so cool. That's so sick.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that
pretty
Queek
anime.
is really that tough of a fighter.
I guess it also depends on, like, because again, WULFRIK is pretty much like wearing standard Chaos Warrior armor in that case there. Queek's weapon, Dwarf Gouger, does have some limits about what it can penetrate. So it depends on like, if you can actually chink them too. Although WULFRIK does have his head exposed. So like one chink to the head and WULFRIK is gone.
Yeah, it's also Skaven metal. Yeah, I guess I gotta give it to WULFRIK.
I mean, I would too for WULFRIK, but it would be a very close match. Very close in that case, just judging from my own knowledge. But I could just not know anything because I need to look back on Queek and his like stuff because it's been a while since I looked at him.
Also, Rad, given what I just said about like him doing the Metal Gear Rising to that wyvern, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand now why I'm so angry about his death?
Yeah, and end times. I'm actually more angry about Thorgrim's more than Queek's.
They're both terrible.
Yeah, both of them are just ass.
I'm so angry.
Wait, the way they died?
Yeah.
Like, how did they die?
So
you want to know?
Yeah, just tell me.
All right, go ahead.
All right, well, with Queek's situation, it was that he was fighting Thorgrim in one-on-one combat, and all of a sudden the winds of metal like fuse into Thorgrim, and because of that, there's like a flashbang where Queek just can't see anything, and then he just gets choked to death because like he literally can't see anything, and Thorgrim just grabs him by the neck and strangles him to death.
What? Doesn't make any sense. Where did all this come from?
Yeah, there was like something in the end times where all the winds of magic were kind of unleashed and then saw different champions to like fuse into. Like Carl, I think he got infused with like the Lore of Heavens. Who else was it? I think Ungrim got infused with the Lore of Fire and became like a flaming slayer of some kind.
Yeah. Oh no, Tyrion got the Lore of Heaven.
Oh, Tyrion, right. I think it was Carl got the Lore of Light, I think, then.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, sorry, you have that. I have it mistaken. I have it the wrong way around. Yeah, sorry. Tyrion got Light, Carl got Heavens.
Really, Tyrion? I thought he got infused with the power of Cain, like when he got the Sword of Cain himself.
No. Well, he did get the Sword of Cain, and he got infused with that fury, but he also got infused with the winds of magic of light.
Yeah, and if I recall, like Grimgor, probably the only good story in the end times, got infused with the power of beasts.
Well, that's because all you need to write about Grimgor is that he's going around killing things. Like that's all you need.
Yeah. Although one that was pretty cool is I think Malekith got imbued with like what was it, the power of Shadow. Or the Lord Shadow?
He does.
That makes sense. That makes sense there.
Perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. If anyone's going to get that.
Okay, and now Thorgrim's is the one that I'm pissed off about. So remember, he was infused with the lore of metal, right? So imagine almost like a steel-clad dwarf. Like his entire body is made of steel or whatever metal, kind of like Torox, right? So then after that battle, after killing Queek and I think retaking Karak 8 Peaks for the majority of it, Thorgrim then heads back home, to then take off a bunch of grudges from the Book of Grudges that were Queek, because Queek does have his own chapter, if I recall, in the Book of Grudges, right? However, sorry, go ahead.
I cut you off because I did read the book. Like the way it's described is that he goes and he kills Queek, and he goes, "Oh, I think I got infused with the power of metal, with the lore of winds of magic of metal." All the Skaven disperse, and they just retreat back into Karazak Karak. And the High King finally goes to sleep for the first time in a month.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
sorry, go ahead. You have more knowledge.
Yeah, he sleeps for 8 to 10 hours, wakes up well rested, and he goes out onto He goes out onto a balcony to overlook like the kingdom of the Karaz-Ankor. And then, Rad, you can cover what happens from here as he's like looking out over his kingdom.
Yeah, so as he's looking out, and mind you, he's still infused with the power of metal, so he's like a steel person, really. Because apparently, while he was doing that, he left his back door open, which allowed Snickage to come by and just stab him right in the back, killing him.
Deathmaster Snitch?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and mind you, Thorgrim is a freaking metal like dwarf, entirely clad like in and out from the sound of it there. And Snickage somehow manages to kill him by stabbing him in the back. Even though Snickage has no like
or maybe his blade is made out of warpstone, I think.
Very unclear.
But like it's the book is like confirmed, like it's like the Vermin Lord are looking at it through a portal with Thanquol, and they go, ah yes, only Snitch could climb this mountain and accomplish this task. I'm like, he's the only Eshin assassin that can climb fucking rocks? What do you mean?
Yeah. What do you mean? Out of all the other rat assassins?
Yeah, so I don't
again, like, yeah, this is why, like I said, End Times is really bad writing. It's like Game of Thrones season 8 levels of bad writing, or even worse, I might say.
Oh, it's worse. It's way. They literally forgot about Skarsnik. They forgot to write an ending.
Yeah, they did. They had a little blip. They had a little blip with him, like, but then just forgot about him. And I think they forgot to do the Lizardman. It's like, oh yeah, they were just wiped out by like, the moon falling on Lustria.
Oh yeah, it happens. No, they just dropped a moon on them. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you're telling me that Warhammer Fantasy ended with the same way Game of Thrones was ended?
No, worse, I'd say, actually.
Oh.
The writing was worse than Game of Thrones Season 8.
Mm-hmm.
I had such a good episode, and now we're back to talking about the end times, and I want to vomit.
Yeah, so anyway, like, I guess we can wrap them up. Like, again, Tangent of the End Times, we can add that to the tally mark of episodes that we have here. But overall, like, going back to WULFRIK himself, what did you guys think of this whole story of his?
The ending took me so off guard, I'm not gonna lie. I had to like sit here for a minute just kind of getting my composure about me, being like, oh, he just killed the woman and flayed her. Standard Chaos Champion stuff.
Standard. Yeah. I'm sure maybe there'll be some more details in the book you read. I'm sure I missed something in regards to that, because it was kind of like out of left field, but I was like, well, god damn, WULFRIK.
Yeah, right. Yep. Maybe it'll be covered. Maybe there's a good quote.
Probably. I'm sure there's some more details.
I will never forget about the snake.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that too.
The snake.
Guys, there's a snake in my boot.
A snake in my boot, and it's like immediately shoved down the throat. It's super effective.
Yeah.
It has all the vitamins you need and extra venom.
What do you mean Ekans is snake backwards? God damn it. Oh, that was so... Yeah, well, and I do love the idea. He, like, goes and throws the dude's head onto the ground for his chieftain and just being like, why is there a snake head sprouting out of the stump of his neck? Don't worry about
it. It's unclear. I think the snake may have died while, like, biting the inside of a Svineborn, being like, choked from the muscles inside or whatever. Doesn't matter in that point, really, but yeah.
Oh, did he just, like, have the snake... Like, the snake just, like, bit the shit out of him?
Yeah, I mean, he was shoved down his throat, so what do you think a snake's going to do? It's going to bite out of what the hell it doesn't understand.
Oh, okay, it was shoved down his throat and just bit him and poisoned him. Okay. At first, I was like, is WULFRIK just using this snake like a staple gun? And just being like, take it! Just fucking using the fucking fangs. That wouldn't surprise me either, frankly. But no, I really liked this story. I thought this was great. I thought you did an amazing job covering it. I thought it was very well constructed.
Yeah, at first, like, when I heard about WULFRIK, I was like, oh, just Chaos Champion that can teleport and just challenge people. But then I learned about his story, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good here. And I would say, like, out of the Chaos Champion stuff, like, he is, like, has a pretty good lore when it comes to, like, on par with, I would say, maybe Kazakh One-Eye, perhaps, or even better than him. The only contender or person that I would argue has a better lore in the Chaos side is probably, like, Archaon, but, you know, it's Archaon.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys know D&D stuff, right? Some D&D terminology and stuff.
I watched the movie.
Well, the movie's great too, actually. It's actually a surprisingly good movie, but...
Yeah, it really was.
the thing I just think of is like if people ask me like describe Warfrick in 3 words: chaos, murder, hobo.
Actually, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Because that's literally what he's been cursed with. You're like, here you go, dude. Go find this dude. Hunt him down.
I mean, yeah, that's literally like what he does even after this story. He's just cursed to forever do these challenges and just teleport here and there.
And he still has like a Norskin group with him, yeah? Like he still has a small armada?
No, hold on.
It depends. Like again, he probably goes around challenging people, then maybe stops back in Norsko or just some chaos place, boasts about and talks about his deeds, and people are like, "Oh, hey, can I join you?" And Wolfrick's like, "Whatever, doesn't matter to me."
Oh, okay. Because I was
Again,
gonna say,
I'm unsure about that. I'm unsure about that. But again, it's like the whole point is that on tabletop, if I recall, like if you have him as your general, then it actually gives some of your, specifically the Marauders of your Chaos, so like Legion, Vanguard to make you like, oh, Wolfric actually teleported on the side of your army with Seafang, like being like kind of his gist.
Let's teleport them right behind the enemy lines. And they're like, "Hey, where'd you come from?"
I mean, again, it's still Marauders, so it's probably something that's like done after the setup or something, is my guess, unless you really know about Wolfric beforehand.
Also, Lionel Johnson on 40k has the ability, and it's fucking bullshit.
What, teleport?
Yeah, and anyone who knows about this, anyone who plays as a lion can kiss my ass. And I know you're watching this. I know exactly who's watching this. I'm calling you out right now.
Well,
I am
know
no tabletop player, but never mind.
I never played the tabletop either. I just heard about some of the rules being to better understand some of these characters.
Yeah,
One
the
thing I
lion
like
recently
about
got an ability because he has forced walk, which is basically teleport around the table.
I forgot about that. He did get that recently. Yeah, completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Although, really, I should not be complaining. Anyone who has a Primarch on the table, which I do, is kind of a bitch. I'm not going to lie.
Who do you have?
You're kind of a bitch for bringing that out, and just because it's just such a pain in the ass.
Who do you have?
Wait, what? Saying?
Who do you have, Mitch?
Fulgrim.
Ah, okay.
The fast snake boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hence why I'm like, yes, I am also in the bitch task group.
Wait, oh yeah, it makes sense. You're a Slanesh player?
Yeah, I recently got a Slanesh army, and it's very fun to play as. Although surprisingly, Fulgrim isn't as busted as I thought, but oh my god, his bodyguards are insane.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. Which is worse, a Primarch or a Greater Demon in tabletop?
Oh, worse? Greater Demon. Primarchs are the thing with the Primarchs is that they've all got one thing that they excel at. So in like the Lion's case, he's got really good defense, where he has an invul save of 2 up, or sorry, 2 up. 3 up actually. In Rabute's case, it's like he's got really good attack power that he just like hits and wounds really easily because he has the Emperor's sword. So the demons are still good, but there's just some special gimmick about all the Primarchs that it's just like, I hate you for playing this right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've gone off on a tangent about like something else entirely. But yes, Rad, I thought this was a great coverage of Warfrick. I'm like, now you got me very hyped up to read the book for sure, to know the further details.
Awesome. And I guess we'll convene some other time where you could just like put in the comments, put in like my grade, like what percentage I get on my current essay here. Well,
your narrative has already gotten like 100% from my base knowledge. Like the coverage was great, so kudos to you for that. Yeah, I'll let you. Well, we'll cover if there's anything that's like, oh hey, by the way, like some name character drop.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you forgot this guy on page 57, like section E here.
Yeah, or like here's a baller quote for no reason.
Or it's like Svineborn was not actually this; he was this.
Yeah, it
was like, I don't know. But anyway, like, yeah, that is all I have to say for today. Anything else, or can you take us home, good Mitch?
Space Knight?
Wait, what about here's my rank. You did 100%. Like, it was amazing. Like, I mean, it makes sense because we've been doing speculation like for a while now, and the way you explain the Warhammer lore is really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have you do more episodes in the future. Anyways.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure both of us, like both you and I, Mitch, like have plenty of stuff, and hey, maybe Space Knight, maybe one day you could do this here.
Yeah, by all means. You're always welcome to come back on, man.
And try. Sure, why not?
Yeah. There's always an open chair.
Yep.
So I take us home then, lads?
I'm fine with that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode, folks. Thank you so much, Space Knight, for attending us. It was a great honor to have you on here. A lot of fun to discuss this stuff with you. Thanks again, Rad, for being here with me as my co-host and covering this and doing such an accurate and lovely job of it. Phenomenal work from you, man. And for all watching, please consider leaving a like. Please consider subscribing if you haven't. Leave a comment to let us know if there's anything you want us to cover in the future. And we will see you all in the next episode. Take care, all.